All right, let's get right into it. Take a look at this. On the surface, it's just a simple cartoon about a village, right? But what if I told you this story is actually the key to understanding one of YouTube's biggest and most successful hidden content empires? We're talking about a storytelling formula that pulls in hundreds of millions of views. And that's really the big question we're tackling today. We're going to break down one of these stories, piece by piece, so you can see the powerful narrative engine that's captivating a massive global audience on YouTube right now.
So every single one of these viral videos kicks off with a simple, really relatable problem. In this story, it all starts in a village called Saharanpur, which is in the middle of a brutal, relentless heat wave. And see, the heat isn't just, the weather. It's the main character's biggest enemy, making every single part of life a real struggle.
And this is what makes it feel so real. We're hearing it straight from the villagers. The problem isn't some abstract concept, it's the warm drinking water. It's that feeling of having absolutely no escape. For a platform like YouTube, this grounds the story in an emotion that literally anyone, anywhere in the world can get.
But here's the thing. The villagers aren't just sitting back and taking it. No way. They're resourceful. They're using these clever little life hacks to fight back. And this is so important because it immediately sets them up as heroes you actually want to root for. You're not just watching people suffer. You're watching them solve problems in real time.
But this is where the story starts to ramp up. Because what started as a tough but manageable problem, well, it's about to explode into a full-blown crisis. The one thing they've been using to survive, water, is about to vanish. And that escalation, that's what keeps you glued to the screen.
Oh, and this line, it just perfectly captures that dawning moment of horror, doesn't it? It's such a simple question, but it is loaded with dread. You could feel their world starting to shift under their feet. The very foundation of their survival is starting to crack.
And then, boom, we hit the turning point. It's delivered in this one, single, stark sentence. The wells they all depend on, the ones for the whole community, they're empty. The crisis isn't a threat anymore, it's a devastating reality.
Now, a crisis like this, it doesn't just show you there's a lack of water. It shows you the cracks in a society. The story immediately shifts gears to a whole new conflict. Not people against nature, but people against people. And you know what that means? It's time to introduce the villains.
And here it is, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have a desperate plea for survival, and on the other, a rigid, cold defense of privilege. The elite, they're not just hoarding water, they're hoarding power. This creates a super simple, morally clear struggle. The powerless versus the powerful.
And this is a really critical moment. The system, the establishment, it completely fails them. The leaders, the wealthy people who could actually help, they offer nothing. So the villagers are left totally on their own, abandoned. And that sense of injustice, man, that is a powerful, powerful hook to keep an audience engaged.
But this is where the story takes another turn, because this isn't a tragedy. When those old power structures fail, the villagers decide to build their own. This part of the story is all about collective action, and it's the satisfying payoff that we, the viewers, have been waiting for. I just love this quote. It captures their spirit perfectly, right? They refuse to just accept their fate. You can feel that mix of desperation and pure determination. They know the odds are stacked against them, but doing nothing is just not an option. It's time to take matters into their own hands.
Okay, so check out the strategy here. They find out their water was actually being blocked by a whole other village, but they don't respond with violence. No, they use clever leverage. They find a pressure point, this key road, and they squeeze. It's like a brilliant game of chess that leads to a really smart, satisfying resolution. And that, right there, is the moral of the story. It's the big takeaway that makes the whole thing feel so meaningful. The villagers win, not because of money or status, but because they work together. Power, the story is telling us, comes from the community itself. And that is a message with universal appeal. So, as we've been walking through this, you can see how every single beat of this story is perfectly engineered to keep you watching. So now, let's zoom out a little and really look at the blueprint that powers this hidden YouTube empire. Okay, so here's the secret sauce. You can call it the Kahani, or story formula. It all starts with that universal theme we talked about. It gives you a crystal clear moral fight, obvious good guys, obvious bad guys. And crucially, the hero isn't just one person, it's the entire community. All of this builds to a deeply satisfying ending where unity and cleverness win the day. This exact blueprint is used in thousands and thousands of videos. And the results? They are just absolutely staggering. We are talking about hundreds of millions, sometimes even billions, of views across this entire genre. It is a quiet giant on YouTube, a true empire built not on slick production or big-name influencers, but on the raw, undeniable power of a simple, well-told story.
So it all leaves us with this one last thought. We spend so much time obsessing over algorithms and trends and SEO and all that, but maybe, just maybe, the most powerful tool for grabbing and holding an audience hasn't changed in thousands of years. Maybe, at the end of the day, it's still just a good story.